Guys, so I thought that I would make a video telling you all kind of my tips and tricks for surviving whenever your boyfriend or significant other goes off to boot camp. I asked my boyfriend what tips he would give, so you're also going to get to hear from both sides. These tips, my personal experience was with the Marine boot camp, but I feel like a lot of these tips are really universal for any boot camp that anyone could be going off to. I'm so excited to share these with you because I know whenever my boyfriend left, the first thing I did, I was reading, watching videos, look for tips and ways to feel better because I was so sad. So I really hope you guys enjoy these tips and I hope they can help you a little bit. And yeah, the first tip I have, I feel like is probably the most basic tip anybody can give you, and that is write letters. I mean, that is your only way truly to communicate. And also, in your letters, write about what's going on in your life. I remember my boyfriend told me his favorite things to read were things that were going on in my life. You know, me updating him on things such as his favorite sports team or just what was going on at church. Just say, I love you, miss you over and over and over and over. Like, I promise you, they know that you love and miss them. But the thing about writing these letters is they can get very repetitive very quickly and very easily. I've never written letters before like that in a way of communication. It's kind of awkward at first, I'm not gonna lie. Of course, there's the rule of you cannot include, you know, candy. Don't put your letter in a bright pink envelope. Your recruit wants to go as unnoticed as possible. They don't want their sergeant opening the letter and reading it to everybody there. My next tip of advice would be to stay busy, which I feel like is also a very popular kind of basic tip. So important to just find things and ways to stay busy, but you'll have certain nights where they're just harder than others. And I know the first thing I would do was just try to find something to do. Me and my friends would go get ice cream, go shopping, go thrifting, watch a TV show, whatever it is, like find something to distract your mind. My next one is one that I think is just important for life in general, but especially in this kind of a situation. It is so important to think positively, especially on like your bad nights when you're just really extra sad. You can drag yourself down a rabbit hole of sadness and negative thoughts of what if we just don't like each other? What if, you know, anything. You can come up with anything. I remember my biggest fear, one of my biggest fears, was that my boyfriend was gonna be completely different. I'd read all these things about they change, they become a new person, and I was like, well, great, but I like the boyfriend I had, like, I don't want a new one. Just remember, it's gonna be okay. He misses you as much as you miss him, I promise. So just be positive and pray. So this next thing, I don't know if this is really considered a tip or advice, but it was something that I kind of had to do whenever my boyfriend left. Me, and I think for a lot of us, you know, our boyfriends are one of our, if not our, you know, best friend. You tell them everything. I know my boyfriend, I tell him everything. He knows everything going on. All of a sudden, I was like, who am I supposed to talk to? This time period, it gives you kind of a chance to get closer with some of your friends or your family. I know I spent a lot more time with my family than I did before my boyfriend left, but I honestly loved it. Like, it was so much fun. You know, so you kind of just have to find another, not support system, but like maybe another outlet. And even if maybe talking to people isn't your thing, journaling, that's a really good idea. This tip comes from my boyfriend, and he said that if they ask you a question in their letter that they write to you, answer the question. They want to know the answer to your question. You know, so try not to overlook them. It can be very hard sometimes to answer questions and to answer certain things, just because letters can be kind of out of whack as far as time goes. Another thing that I think is so important and that my boyfriend also said that he loved was send pictures. Even if they're old pictures, I used to send my boyfriend pictures of me and him from other times, and he loved that. His parents would do the same thing. Like, I think sending pictures is so important. So this next tip was something that my boyfriend actually told me, and he said to send Clif bars, protein bars, like boxes of them, because they actually, if they did really good one day, would get passed out a protein bar, and that is like gold to them. So makes friends with everyone. It's not super expensive. It's a good idea to do. My next tip of advice is actually something that will probably sound a little weird, but don't freak out if your boyfriend gets sick. I remember my boyfriend telling me he had pneumonia, and that was insane. Like, I was concerned. My boyfriend had pneumonia. It's kind of in a place that probably wasn't the absolute best to have pneumonia, but you have to remember that your boyfriend is probably not going to go to medical, because if he does, he will more than likely be held back a couple weeks, and he's not the first one to ever get sick. Lots and lots of people in those boot camps get sick. It's lots of people from across the country all of a sudden shoved in one room. If one person is sick, everybody else is sick. So it's very scary. Like, don't get me wrong, it's scary, but he will be okay, I promise. It'll be okay. Another thing that's super important is to answer your phone all the time. You never know if they're gonna get a phone call. It might be 30 seconds until he completed the Reaper and was a Marine, and then they did get I think 2 or 3 hours of liberty, and he was able to FaceTime and call. So just keep your phone by you, because there's no guaranteed set whether or not they're gonna get a phone call. You never know, so just keep it by you. One thing that really helped me getting through him being gone was you can actually join you have your company and then your platoon number. You can look that up on Facebook, and you can actually find like Facebook group pages for your company, and they were so awesome. They give you an update every single day. At least the one that I was in did. I mean, they started with a good morning, and they told you exactly what your Marine was doing that day. They also gave you tips and advice, and I think it was so helpful. Throughout the day, you can look. They'll also post pictures. They will post pictures. The Marine Corps the Recruit Depot will post pictures sometimes on Facebook. If you're extra super lucky, you might even see a photograph of your boyfriend. I remember one day I saw a photograph of my boyfriend, and they were standing at attention in line, and he was in the very front, and I was so happy, and it made my month. So just be on the lookout. You never know. Keep your hopes up. And it could be really good. I've written down right here everything that he told me, and I think I covered it all. You know, try not to get repetitive in your letters. Tell them things that are going on, not just in your life, but in maybe their favorite sports team and politics. Tell them the gossip of what's going on. And then, of course, don't send bright pink letters to them. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I have for today. I really hoped that maybe you got something out of this video. I might also make videos dedicated completely to the letter writing situation, as well as the graduation and family day. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe and comment if you have any kinds of questions or anything that you'd like me to answer. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, guys.